on my way.
Welcome to Nashville Meets World, presented by Solis North Gulch Apartments. Live where taste matters. I am Camo, and I feel the sudden need to sing the Peaches and Herb song "Reunited," and it feels so good. I won't, because that would just be awful.
If I'm gonna sing, I feel like we could both.
No, you don't. Nobody wants that. Look, boys and girls, it's Kaylee Rutland.
Hi.
Great to have you on the show. It's been like 2 years or something.
I think about 2 years. It's been too long.
Yeah, it has been too long. You were on when we were doing all the old original live shows.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's recorded this time for posterity.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's so cool to have you back. And you've been doing stuff.
I've been doing stuff.
You've been busy. You just haven't been, sitting around.
That's true. Shocking though, maybe.
You songwriters, you people do nothing.
I know.
So what have you been up to lately?
Well, the songwriting thing.
Yeah, the songwriting.
Lots of songwriting. Obviously, I have a new single out, which is the biggest thing right now.
I've heard the rumors.
The rumors, yes, they're true. But yeah, that's 90% of it is recording, performing, writing songs.
Have you been busy? Because a lot of people that are independent artists can be busy in spurts or not.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on the week. I feel like there are some weeks where it's really nice. I have a super open schedule, which is great because I can fill it with co-writes. And then there's other weeks where I prefer to be busy rather than bored. So I get to come do fun stuff like this, or maybe travel out of town for a gig.
Really
this is fun.
No,
this is fun.
This is just like a passing thing.
This is the fun stuff.
Well, I'm glad you think we're fun. People say other things about us.
But we'll
go with the fun.
Yeah,
that's a nice thing.
That's the one we're going to say.
Yeah. So you've been doing a lot of writing. Who have you been writing with? Some.
Anybody who will humble themselves to write with me.
I don't think so, because you are an excellent writer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
When I got the chance to bring you on the show, I was like, excellent, because you're a great writer.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
One of my favorite female writers in town.
Well, I'm just gonna cry for the rest of this.
Oh, don't.
That's fine. I'm just sobbing over here. Don't mind me.
No, I remember your stuff being so good. Why is she still kind of flying under the radar?
Well, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So, have you had any bigger names that you've been writing with?
Well, one person that I have written with a bit over the years is, of course, Jamie O'Neill, who has co-written and produced several of my previous EPs, and yeah, she's just brilliant.
And she's also involved in that Writing for Heroes. I think that's what it's called, where it's working with vets and writing songs.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, she's another person that you only really hear about her in songwriting circles. The name flies under the radar, but when you hear her music, you're like, wow.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Is that somebody that you kind of think, yeah, I want to do that, or are you shooting kind of to be over the radar?
That's a good question. I think that's something that I've thought a lot about in the past, and at this point, I'm just kind of like, whether it's over or under the radar, as long as I can write music and play it for people, and make enough to buy my groceries and pay my rent, I'll be happy.
So with you, is it like I'm going to do what I do and kind of let the level seek itself? If it becomes that I become a great artist and tour a lot, that's cool. But if I don't, and I have a great career kind of flying under the radar, and everybody in the business knows who I am, but the public not so much, that's still...
Yeah, sort of what it's meant to be, it will be. And so all I can really do is just be good to people and make music that I really like. And that way, no matter how big or small my career gets, I'll be happy either way.
When audiences hear your music, how do they respond? Is it like clapping like I get, like the sympathy laugh? Or are they really digging what you're picking up what you're laying down.
Well, I hope they're picking up what I'm laying down. I hope they're digging it. No, that is one of my favorite things about live shows, is because you do get that like energy and that interaction from the crowd, and that also really helps too with just like picking what's going to be the next single or what songs you're going to release, is to just kind of gauge how people react to it.
Yeah, it's tough because some people just love that songwriting aspect, and getting out and playing is kind of a necessary evil. And for other people, it's like the show is what they really respond to because it's an interaction.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely the second type. Which is funny, I'm such an introvert, but whenever I get to actually perform the music, that's my favorite thing.
But this town is full of introverts.
That is true.
I'm an introvert, but we rule.
We do rule.
But we're in a business where you have to be extroverted. So it's almost like taking on a character when you have to go and do that. I'm not the incredible doofus that you see here on the camera. I'm just completely different.
Just an average doofus.
Thanks. You can come back again. So, yeah, because so many people who are in the entertainment business are very awkward with people and don't deal with people well, but they're forced to because that's who they are and what they do. Is that hard for you? Or is it something that slips in comfortably?
It is more so now, yeah. And I grew up really, really shy as a kid, so I mean, it was painfully awkward. Like, I wouldn't be able to look you in the eye right now if I was like my 12-year-old self. Like, could not talk to people.
I still have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, it can be nerve-wracking. And like, oh my gosh, performing on stage, like, I mean, while it was one of my favorite things, I had a massive stage fright. And I still, get like the butterflies.
But that's good. They say when you stop feeling those butterflies, and then you're not doing something right.
Yeah, then you probably just don't care enough. Yeah, and then you gotta find what gives you the butterflies. But yeah, nowadays I think it is a lot easier, both in, whether it's an interview or a performance or like a business meeting, to just kind of be like, okay, this is what I do. Like, I need to come out of my shell a little bit, but it becomes easier to be like, I'm used to this now.
Is it that, or is it a character that you put on when you go there? Kaylee Rutland, the performer, and Kaylee Rutland, the person.
I think it's transitioned a bit. I think it used to be a character for me where I'd be like, I have to pretend that I'm an outgoing, brave person. And I mean, they say fake it till you make it. The more I pretended to be that person, the more it became easy to be like, oh, okay, I can be confident. I don't just have to pretend to be confident. So it's helped a little bit. It's still a bit of a transition, but yeah.
Cool. You want to do a song for us?
Gladly.
All right, you just happen to have brought a guitar.
I just so happened to have one.
Guitar.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's from my sweet grandparents. I have a guitar pick here somewhere too, which is probably helpful, huh?
Yeah. You're watching Nashville Meets World with Camo, and my special guest is Kaylee Rutland.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. This is my latest single, Kiss Me Like You Miss Me.
All right.
you very much.
That's Kaylee Rutland, Kiss Me Like You Miss Me. We'll be right back with more from Kaylee. But right now, it's Worldwide Wednesday, and time to check in with one of our great correspondents around the world.
Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of Nashville Meets World. I am here in Glasgow in the awesome King Tut's with the incredible James Bunker Band. And we're here with James,
Connor, Taylor, and Bobby.
how you guys doing?
Crew. Good, how are you?
Oh, great. We was just downstairs and the crowd is hot and warm and they sound great. And you guys are excited for the show, is that right?
Oh, so pumped up. And we've heard it's a rowdy crowd here, so it's our bread and butter.
Is it your first time in Glasgow?
Yes, it is. Our first time in Scotland. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And how do you find it so far?
Oh my god, it's amazing. I mean, we just got into town, but it's a beautiful spot. We took the train, so like we got to see the countryside. It's amazing.
Wait, did you come up all the way from England through on the train?
So, yeah, from Newcastle.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is a good trip.
Well, we've been looking forward to this show just because I've heard this venue. I guess it's probably the most like known one on our tour, so we've been looking forward.
I mean, Oasis was founded in here.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
first on the
Oh,
stairs,
wow.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
insane. It's crazy. So you guys, you have started the tour where? Where's the first city that you started?
We started in Dublin, yeah.
Dublin.
We kind of started west and worked our way east, but now we're not, so never mind. We started very far east.
Okay, tell me, do you
West.
do the navigating in this complete?
No, not at all. I can hardly find my way to the venue and we're a block away.
Okay, that's good to know. Nice. Alright, so so you got tonight, and then where are you heading next? What's the next leg on the tour?
Actually, Munich.
Yeah.
So, which is a bit of a jump. That's the biggest jump. But we have a day to travel, so that'll be cool.
Wow. And how do you guys go between gigs? Like, are you the kind of band that gets there and sort of have those rough nights, and you just kind of go out and party after a show, and then you just got to come back in, and then he's like, another gig, or he's like, no, we're there, we're on time. Our tour manager loves us. He's never having to run around and find us. Or
Yeah, we're usually pretty good about showing up. I mean, we have a little bit of fun, but we've learned over years of failing to not stay there too late. Yes.
What a way to describe it.
One night
That's
out
cool.
when you go hard, it takes away like 4 or 5 days of the tour.
Once you
Just
get to be
gone.
our age.
Gosh, yeah, the back start giving away at this point.
Yeah.
Right, studio or live? What do you prefer?
Studio.
I was going to say probably studio, but it's pretty equal match.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Why the studio versus live? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I think it's just like a different creative process, so it's like a personal thing.
Yeah.
Like, just it's nice to come up with new ideas and stuff, and live is a different version of that.
Yeah.
So.
So, okay, new music. What have you guys? Are you working on anything? Are you just doing anything? Have you just released anything? What's happening? Where can people get some of the stuff?
Yeah, well, we released a new EP a while ago, I guess back in May, which is a long time ago now. But we're constantly writing and recording. It's weird. We don't like sit down for 2 weeks and try and bang out an album. We'll like constantly be writing and recording.
And so you write all together?
We write all together, and then also write with like a camp of guys that are originally from Canada too, and all live in Nashville and like that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is Nashville home for all of you? Or no, it's not, is it? You guys are Canadian, right?
Well, right now the whole visa situation is a little difficult. But right now, Connor and I
So is
both.
Brexit, but
Not getting involved.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
But Connor and I both live there full time, and these guys are working on moving down full time. So
It's in the spring and then or fall later.
spring or fall or.
And how do you find
Couple
the
of years.
difference?
Yeah.
I mean, not being from Nashville, how do you find the difference of moving there and music and, the progression and the change of lifestyle, working with other musicians? What's the difference? Is it huge? Is it a massive jump?
I mean, we came from Toronto, which is a pretty creative city, but as far as like country music specifically, Nashville is like the epicenter. It's crazy. Everybody there, like every bartender, every cab driver, every Uber driver is like somehow in the music industry. So it's wild. That every time you go to the airport, if you say you're in a band, they like make you listen to their demos. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, right. So that's fun. It's amazing. I'm so glad that you guys are here in Scotland finally after all this amazing touring you've been doing. When you get home, what's the plan?
Sleep.
Yeah, for a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm gonna say hi to my wife, I'm gonna say hi to my dog, and I'm gonna have a
That's the rockstar lifestyle right there, you guys. I can't believe it. It's amazing. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. If anyone wants to find your music, where can they find you?
Obviously like Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. And if you just look at James Barker Band
What
on
about the handle?
everything from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
MySpace.
AOL,
MySpace?
AOL, MSN,
James Bunker Band.
Microsoft DOS.
You
Anyway.
navigated that really well. I'm surprised. Come on, man. Guys, the James Bunker Band. Make sure you catch them on a show somewhere if you can. And if you can't, make sure you go and follow them on Spotify and all those incredible places that you just heard. Thanks, guys, so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
I'm just saying.
looks like you need one more. Yeah, baby, you heard that one before. Small talk cliche that all the other guys say. I don't wanna get it myself. Are you in it alright, baby? I can't tell. Yeah, see those blue eyes giving me the green light. Hey girl, I'm reading this right. No one knows how to get the girl. She's standing over here all by herself. Even looking to no one else. I ain't saying you should leave right now. But girl, from the second you walk in, your eyes have been doing all talking. I ain't saying we should dance in the crowd. But baby, I'm doing my best. In New York, here I feel it. You say, whoa. But you say, you can leave me hanging in suspension, bringing in all that's it.
And we're back. I'm Camo. This is Kaylee, Rutland. Great song.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And we'll put that up on our Spotify playlist too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
When you write songs, do you write exclusively for yourself, or do you write with other artists in mind that you would want to pitch a song to?
I think it depends on the song,
Yeah.
and sometimes the people that I'm writing with. I don't often specifically have a particular artist in mind that I'm pitching to, but I have written a lot of songs that I think to myself, this isn't a song for me, but like, oh, if like a guy country artist wanted to sing this song, or I wrote one with a guy once where it was country meets EDM sort of, so
Yeah.
I never have like a specific artist in mind, but I've definitely written a lot of just the kind of music that I hope that someone else would want to record one day.
Have you had anybody do any of your cuts? Have you had?
A few.
Yeah.
And I can't say any because they're not released yet, but there are a few friends, either co-writers on the songs or friends of my co-writers who have been in the studio with, I think, 3 songs that I've been a writer on.
What's the feeling when somebody says, I'm going to cut that?
It's a little bit crazy because you're like, oh, good. Like, I'm not the only one that thinks it was something. You know, sometimes you're like, well, I think it's good that, you know, maybe they don't really like the song that much. You know, you get in your head a little bit, but when somebody else likes it enough that they believe in it and they want to record it and they want to have it out for their fans, I'm like, oh yes, we made something special.
And part of the reason you can't talk about it is because sometimes people will cut it and it just doesn't make.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the old saying, it's not final until it's on vinyl. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because so many people, you're getting a cut, and then it just doesn't make it to the final album. But,
right, yeah.
But it's still exciting for somebody to hear somebody say, I'm going to cut your song. Does that kind of validate you as a songwriter?
A little bit, yeah. Where it's just, I don't know, the first time somebody said that to me, that they really wanted to record a song that I was writing on, I was like, oh, I'm a writer. Like, I've written tons of songs over the last handful of years, and I've been a co-writer on almost everything that I've released as an artist. But when somebody else wants to release it, you do feel a little bit more like a real songwriter. You're like, oh, I did that. I was a part of that.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't even imagine what that's like, but it seems to me that it's like you do all the self-validation of I'm writing a song and I'm singing it and recording it, but then somebody else thinks I'm good too. It's not just me. Yeah. I hate asking the question because it always seems so divisive, but women in country music now, that's still a really tough gig.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there are so many cool organizations like the Suffragettes and Women in Country. And how important do you think things like that are to helping people like you get your word out?
I think very important. I love that there's organizations that are supporting, anyone who's underrepresented in the industry. And right now it's women. And if it were another group at another point in time, I hope that there would be other organizations for that. But yeah, since women are, and I do think it's changing, but since women have the last 10 or 15 years been a lot less represented, especially in country music, I think it's awesome that there are people who are just kind of championing that group of people.
I just recently did an interview for a podcast in the UK, and I was asked because most of the correspondents we have are women. We tend to skew, as far as my interviews, it's been more women than men. And I was asked why. And to me, the answer is because guys can almost just do anything and get a cut on and be on the radio. And I'm saying the guys that are getting the radio hits.
Sure.
You know, because I think when you get to the indie level, I think everybody's kind of on the same playing field. But women to get radio airplay have to be more creative and have to take more risks to get heard. Do you think that's true in your case? Do you have to take bigger risks as an artist and a songwriter?
I think maybe, and it's hard to tell. You know, I've never been a guy trying to make it in the country music industry.
That would be acceptable too.
Right, yeah. And I know everybody has to work hard and make risks, but yeah, even when just like looking at my friends who are artists, you hear a lot more, you know, I think with the men, they're just sort of, sometimes they're assumed to be already making it, and whereas I think I hear a lot of women like, well, what makes you different? Like, why are you not like any of the other girls? But you never hear the guys being asked that. So I feel like even that it is like, you have to be risky, you have to be different.
Yeah. Is there a pressure to that?
I think yes, but also there's a pressure to everything. So while it can be difficult, it's just sort of something that comes along with it, at least for right now.
Yeah. You want to do another song?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
I have another one.
When I say do you want to, I mean now it's time to do another
Now
song.
it's time.
Yeah.
Silly songs of play. Yeah, this I will play another song off of my upcoming EP. This is Superhero.
When is the EP out?
First quarter of 2020.
Nice.
Which in my head feels a long way away, but it's so soon. Like it's really coming
Yeah,
up.
I know.
I'm so excited. I see you there on the street. You're like nothing I've ever seen. You know that I'd be yours if you
song a bunch.
Thank
That's
you
a
so
really
much.
cool song, and it's one of those songs that I can hear, you know, any number of big artists cutting.
Wow, well, thank you. I think that genuinely is one of my favorite songs that I've gotten to be a
I
writer
can even
on.
see like the video in my head too.
Well, thank you.
If you want to do a video for it, let me know and I'll tell you my ideas.
Perfect. There you go. Get the treatment all written out. I'm ready.
So Christmas is coming. What have you got planned for the holidays?
Oh my gosh. My heart just swelled about 8 times. I'm
Really?
so excited for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I love Christmas.
See, I'm
so
one of the
much.
cynical Christmas guys. It's like you don't put up
No.
a tree until the day before because it's a pain. And, yeah, I'm not.
So let me tell you, I'm probably going to have my decorations up this week.
Yeah, that's,
But I have a reason. It's because I travel so much during the holidays, either for performances and to see family. I'm going to a wedding, like all of these things. So I never get to be in my apartment in Nashville enjoying my decorations. So I have to do all of it before Thanksgiving.
yeah. You're the reason it got cold so fast here in town.
I brought it with me. That's what happened. Oh no, what have I done?
People like you that are watching the Hallmark Channel and putting up their trees early and everything.
100%.
Yeah. So you're gonna be playing out. You've got a wedding to go to, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all of the classic magical Christmas time things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I think so. Yeah, I always put up a lot of Christmas songs too, even just like on social media or my website during the holiday season because I am a sucker for Christmas music. So there will be a lot of that being put out again
I
too.
remember when I was in radio, this back in like the 90s. There's always the debate about starting. We're not starting Christmas music until like the first week of December, and now people are putting it on. I've already heard Christmas music on radio.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow, I
Yeah.
will say it was a little surprising.
Yeah, and it's too much. It's too early. It's all about shopping.
Yeah, that part's not great.
Okay, so it's time to play Asked and Answered, which is we have our viewers around the world, all of you kind people out there that are sending in questions for you to answer. So, not you specifically, but everyone.
For people to answer.
People to answer. So, I'm going to mix these up.
Oh boy.
Either there, pick one.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so Mary from Oxford
Yes.
says, what's the most interesting thing that has ever happened to you playing a show? I've done so many embarrassing things. Now I just have to pick one. The most interesting thing that's ever happened to me while playing a show. There was a show that I was playing at a Dallas Cowboys tailgate party a couple years ago. And it was in the fall. The weather was terrible in North Texas. It was pouring rain. It was miserable outside. And these football fans were just ready to party. It could have been like sunny and 90 degrees outside for how excited they were, which was great. Until the skies opened and there started being a lightning storm in the middle of our set. And we kind of got a little bit concerned. We have, all of these speakers and like all of my bands
plugged in.
Yeah, this nice equipment. And we're on a completely open stage and all of the tailgate guys are kind of under these tents, dancing and drinking and like listening to the show. And these guys took out the stakes from the ground and pulled up their tent and they all carried it over and put it over us on stage while we were playing. And then they stood and danced in the rain so that we could keep playing. Like, it was the sweetest thing ever. It was so funny, but it was so sweet.
Well, Dallas Cowboy fans aren't used to winning much anyway, so.
It's true. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
So, final question.
Yeah.
Kaylee Rutland is embarking on her first international headlining stadium tour.
Excellent.
Who opens for her?
Ooh, who opens for me? Is this like a dream gig? Like I can pick anyone in the world?
People that you're tight with now, people that you admire, maybe even somebody famous that's on the downside of the career. I mean, Garth is bound to hit it one day.
I don't know. I don't think he'll ever. Oh gosh, yeah. Wow, that's a great question. Can I pick a collection of people?
Sure.
Yes. Okay, so every person that I co-write with that has a music career of their own,
right?
Who's trying to make it as an artist. So some of my friends, McKenna Bailey and Kristen Cooper, just girls that I write with all of the time who are phenomenal. It would just be fun to be on stage with them. And then if I could pick an artist or a band that I love, that like the dream would be that I'm at some level where they would ever even imagine opening for me.
Of course, because you're headlining a stadium tour.
Right,
You
in
have to
this
be-
dream world.
Yes, you have to be big.
I think I would have to say like Old Dominion.
Really?
Like, oh, I'm obsessed with them, and obviously they're huge, and I love them. But I think it would be so cool to be able to be playing a live show with them, because then I could sneak out and join their harmonies. I love those harmonies.
Yeah, you're the first person that's ever mentioned Old Dominion in any circumstance on the show, which surprises me because they're pretty big
Yeah, they're phenomenal too.
Yeah.
I love them.
and a really unique sound.
Yeah.
There's nobody else that
Super
sounds
cool.
like them on the radio.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a neat show.
Right.
What have you got coming up that people need to know? Of course, the EP coming out in the first quarter of 2020.
EP coming out soon. I may or may not have just recorded a music video, perhaps for a certain new single that just came out. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it, but it's coming. It's on its way.
Good.
It should be out hopefully in January. Fingers crossed.
Let us know,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we'll make sure we pump it a little bit for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks for being on the show today.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
great
thanks for
having
having
you back.
me.
You have to come back again sometime.
Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
that. It's great. to be here.
Not 2 years from now.
Right, less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years from
I'll bring my guys Old Dominion with me. We'll all have
now. Excellent. Kaylee and her posse.
fun. My posse.
Kaylee, Rutland boys and girls, thanks for being on the show. It's really great having you. Make sure you catch Nashville Meets World every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on Facebook, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central, 7 p.m. in the UK. Catch me every Sunday at midday on Chris Country all across the UK following the Bobby Bones Show. And every Thursday morning at 9:30 with Jody Crosby and John Wolfe on 88.9 Tamworth FM in Tamworth, New South Wales, Australia. We'll see you next time on Nashville Meets World. Bye.